Oh, is that a zit on your face?
Don't look at it.
It's right there. I see it. Come on.
I'm going to use my mic to cover it up.
No.
Check.
That's awesome.
Check.
That's awesome. This was broken, so I had to fix it.
Oh,
that's all. Yeah. I just had to work this out a little bit. I think I got all the kinks out. Yeah, you look perfect. You look perfect. Yep. Is this the way it goes, Christian? I think this is it. Awesome. Welcome back to week 2 of We Are JHM!
My name's Montana, and we want to give a shout out to everyone at Bellflower, Park Rapids, Las Vegas, Irvine, Anaheim, and everyone online.
And I'm Joe, and in this series, we are talking about the mission of JHM. You see, we're not just a bunch of pretty faces. Well, we are, but we like to have a lot of fun, we like to play games, but we really care about helping every 6th, 7th, and 8th grader create friendships that truly matter, follow Jesus with their whole heart, and make a difference with their lives. And last week, we kicked it off by talking all about how to create friendships. And if you missed that, you probably want to go watch that on the YouTube.
Did you say the YouTube?
Yeah, I did.
The YouTube, okay. This week, we're talking about the second of our 3 core values here at JHM, following Jesus. Now, before you tune us out, if you're new here to JHM, or even if you just aren't really sure what you believe in just yet, all we ask is that you hear us out for a few minutes. But before we get there, let's take a break. We want to give a chance for you to meet one of our JHM pastors on our team with a little game we're calling Wheel Unfortunate!
Well, hey there, and welcome back to another edition of Wheel On...
Everybody roll.
Oh, I'm sorry, we can't call it Wheel On... no. Welcome to... Wheel of Misfortune! Thanks a lot, dudes. Hey, I'm your host, Dan Lopez. That's right, Dan Lopez, but my friends call me Dan. Well, here we are. We are here right now because we're getting to hear from one of our campus pastors from Bellflower, California. And his name is?
James?
All right, James. Well, James, have you ever been cow tipping?
I have not.
Well, you're lost. All right, well, James, here we go. It's your turn for... Wheel of Misfortune. All right, spin that wheel. Say it.
Spin that wheel.
All right, there you go, folks. He's gonna eat some dog food like cereal. Are you ready for this?
I'm really not.
See you next time.
It's been great.
It really stinks.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad.
There you go, buddy. Good luck.
Bottoms up.
How's it taste?
It's like cardboard. I mean, not terrible. It's not wet food. I'll take that. Well, the milk is wet food, but...
All right, that was awesome. Let's get back to what it means to follow Jesus. And hey, Montana, I'm curious to know, I'm sure everyone else that's listening or watching is as well, as how you started following Jesus and why.
That's a good question. Well, I had friends who invited me, actually in junior high, and I showed up for the first time and I was like, what is happening? And I fell in love with it. So then I kept going, and then I went to HSM, and I just, over time, was like, yes, Jesus is the real deal.
I love that. You followed the invitation to come to church, buy some friends, and then you heard the call to follow Jesus, and you begin to follow. That's so rad.
Yeah. We want everyone to know that there is a life, maybe it's different from the life you're living right now, that is so much better. A life that you've been invited to live.
One of the best ways to talk about this invitation is to travel all the way back 2,000 years ago. Since that time, literally millions of people have accepted this invitation, but one example that the Bible shares with us is found in the book of Luke in chapter 5. Jesus walks by a man named Matthew who was at work.
And you guys, Matthew was a tax collector, which there are a lot of things I could probably say about this job, but one of the most important things for you to know is that it meant Matthew had a lot of money. He had the cash for things needed in life. But the other side was that the rest of his people, the Jews, they didn't like tax collectors at all. Matthew probably didn't have the most friends, and Jesus extended an invitation. He said 2 words that changed Matthew's life forever. Here, check it out.
This is Jesus.
Heyo!
Who is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. While Jesus was on earth, he taught everyone about God's love and healed people from their sickness. He did many miracles like calming storms and even raised people from the dead.
Wahoo!
Jesus was in Capernaum and he was walking along when he saw a tax collector named Matthew sitting at his tax collector's booth. Tax collectors were hated by everyone because many people thought they were cheaters and sinners.
Oh, none like you. Let's get out of here.
But Jesus saw this man and said, "Follow me and be my disciple."
Me? Yeah, you.
So Matthew got up, left everything, and followed him.
Did you catch that?
I did.
Those 2 words, follow me, have marked millions of lives. They have changed them for the better. And my guess is that some of you listening right now are thinking, why should I follow Jesus? Why did Montana? Why did Matthew do that 2,000 years ago? Wouldn't he have lost his job? How have those 2 words changed so many people's lives? Can following Jesus really change my life?
Wow, slow down. That's a lot of questions for one. Joe, we don't need to worry because Jesus is so awesome, so rad, so amazing that he himself tells us why this invitation to a life following him matters so much. In a different story in the Bible, Jesus tells us pretty straight up about life. He says, "The thief, Satan, comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." Okay,
Did you catch that?
did you hear what Jesus is offering you?
Yes.
He's not offering us a boring, basic life. He's not offering a victory royale guaranteed or that you'll be the best in your sport or your instrument. He's not even offering free pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh.
I know. And now I know that this may be hard to believe, but he is offering you even more than that. He's offering you a life to the full. And if you're like me when I was in junior high, you may still have no idea what life to the full really means. I mean, there's a lot of things we can share on this, but here are 2 things that it means. First, accepting the invitation to follow Jesus and living life to the fullest has meant that Montana gets to live a life of freedom when it comes to sin. You know what sin is, right? It's our mistakes, our failures, our shortcomings in life. Those times when we know the right decision and yet we still make the wrong one. To clarify what this freedom from sin means, I first need to make a confession. Okay, are you listening? Here it is. I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes. I still sin. So does she.
What?
I know, mind-blowing. Okay, well, maybe not at all. But seriously, the invitation that Jesus is giving is that Jesus tells us that he knows all about that sin in our lives, all about the worst parts of our life. He knows the things that make us sometimes think if people just knew what was really inside of me, they wouldn't still love me or even be my friend. He knows every thought that makes us not feel enough, every hurtful word that someone else has said about us. He knows everything, and Jesus still looks us right in the eyes and smiles and says, "Yes, I still love you."
That's awesome. Second, following Jesus means I get to be confident that I get to spend forever with Jesus in heaven. And for you, if you aren't fully sure what exactly heaven even is or what it looks like, don't worry, I'm not exactly sure what it looks like either, but I know 2 things about heaven that make me really excited. 1, Jesus is gonna be there, the person who sees every part of me and says I am enough, the guy who makes me feel like I matter and belong. Yeah, he is gonna be there. And second, the Bible shares that there are no tears in heaven, no crying, and no pain. Like, sign me up now. Here's another challenge. First, if you haven't made the decision to follow Jesus yet, or maybe you still have a lot of questions about what that looks like, your small group leader and your small group is an awesome place to ask those questions. We challenge you to ask those questions, who knows, to maybe even make the choice to follow Jesus today. Your small group leader can tell you a bit more about what it looks like to accept the invitation. And my second challenge is for those of you, maybe you've heard this idea before and you've already made this decision to follow Jesus. So first off, that's awesome.
Secondly, what if you thought about someone in your life who may not know about Jesus? Or maybe they do and are just unsure about who he really is. Maybe it's a friend, a teammate, or a family member. And in fact, near where you are sitting today are sticky notes and some pens. And would you take a few minutes during your small group time to write down 1 to 5 friends that you think would really enjoy JHM? 5 friends who really need to experience Jesus' invitation in their life. We want to challenge you to talk to them about the life that Jesus has given you and invite them to come with you to one of the awesome weekends we have coming up this fall. Everything from Shocktober, at the movies,
That's a secret.
reindeer games, the weekend. You see, we're not saying you need to tell them what to believe or that they need to make some changes in their life or that you need to be perfect. We're just asking that in the same way you talk about your day with them or who that cute girl or guy is, that you'd share what Jesus means in your life and then invite them like Jesus did. Follow me.